It's almost impossible to predict the future, even more so when we're speaking about ICOs and crypto markets. As Zenil pointed out, they change quite many times a month, maybe, even so. And as none of us has a crystal ball to predict the future, perhaps we should look at past data a bit to see what that implies. In the past 4 years, the ICO market has grown quite a bit. From a few projects that raised money in 2016, in 2014 and 2015, we've come to about 160 projects raising 10 million on average this year alone. That's data up until the end of September. We could actually say that everything is going really well for ICOs, and that it's really easy to get funding for a project. But is it really so? Well, there's a lot of this going on, and I call them lemonade tokens. It's basically what they are, lemonade. And there's a lot of this as well. This is basically a representation of what's going on in ICOs. There's backroom deals in pre-ICO moments, or even before that, where larger contributors get better deals, and then the smaller contributors get screwed over in a way. And what happens is distrust. It's exactly what Zenil has been talking about. The retail investor has been almost taken out of this market. And we need to bring the retail investors back. As a result of Lemonade and the other part, the number of ICO projects is growing. It's not about entrepreneurs or scammers that want to make projects and raise money, but it's about entrepreneurs entering a new market that they don't know really well. So they create these projects that don't serve anything really. And on the other hand, we have the average funds a project raises dropping down drastically. So what are the challenges ahead of the ICO market in general? How will projects secure funding to even kickstart? I'm not talking about getting funding for the 3-4 year runway. I'm talking about just starting. How will they promote what they're doing if the marketing campaigns are becoming extremely expensive? So how to gain trust from early investors? Maybe we should reevaluate the ICO model. Maybe we should reevaluate the model of the tokens itself. Perhaps a controversial thought, but maybe it could work, is going from an initial coin offering that tries to raise funds all in one single event into multiple series. I mean, entrepreneurship has always been about raising, building, delivering, evaluating, and raising again. Why has this changed with ICOs? The other thing, if you're creating a token that's supposed to be valuable in the future because the system that you created will bring it value, why would you sell the token at an initial coin offering at a discounted price? You should sell just a bit so you can continue and start working, hold on to the other part of your coins, and then sell it at a later stage, in 6 to 12 months perhaps. So let's look what would bring a multi-series token sale. Perhaps ICOs should go for 3-4 token sales every 6 to 12 months each, distribute 10% of the token each time, have maybe a trusted third party hold the rest of the tokens, or just code this into the smart contracts. We also did an analysis on about 75 ICOs. That was about 6 months ago. We did that. And we figured out that if those projects from the past would opt for a multi-series crowd sale, they would probably raise about 4 to 6 times more in a longer period span. Of course, if they deliver value. If they don't deliver value, what happens is they don't get further funding, which is actually great, because bad projects should be killed at the start. We don't want to waste resources, investment resources, for bad projects, do we? I mean, for myself, I rather have 100 projects raise 1 million than the other way around. So at BlockSquare, we did exactly that. We said we want to raise, build, deliver, and raise again. We want to validate the market as we build the product. We don't want to raise 20 million at this point and think that this could change an industry. I mean, startups, they have at disposal large institutional investments in the hundreds of millions. And they can really change and deliver new stuff. Airbnb would not be Airbnb if it wouldn't have more than, I think, 150 or so million, or it's enormous amounts. So with 10, 15 million of raised capital, do you think you can disrupt an industry? I don't think so. But this is my personal view. So the other thing is maybe reevaluate the model of the token itself. We've been talking a lot about utility tokens, about governance tokens, about tokens that are cryptocurrencies. With the law firm Yada Kempensa, we studied a model that would actually use tokens as a license. Now what this means, this could bring blockchain actually to projects that are not blockchain based at all. For example, a set of tokens could allow you to log into your operating system, or use a program like WinRAR here. So what also brings this model to be exciting perhaps is for the investor part, because with a token that's actually representing a license, you are liable for the technical and for the technical part of the software it uses, or the software it enables. So basically, if you issue a token that doesn't function in the end, the issuer is liable for that. I know that many project makers, creators wouldn't want that, but I think that could bring more trust into the market, as it would protect the investors and buyers from Lemonade tokens. So to sum up the token as a license model, the license provider is obliged to deliver the subject of the license and is liable for the technical feasibility and technical usability of the subject of the license. The token itself would not represent the subject of the license. This means that in the token as a license model, the token issuer would have more obligations towards the token holders, as we are currently witnessing in the ICO world. In conclusion, I would say that token offerings or coin offerings are a novel and great way of raising funds, and I really hope that the market will continue to grow and that projects like CoFounded will help this market here in Slovenia. I think that in 2018 we will rarely see the flipping of coins after they hit the market. I think that more projects will receive less funding, and they will have to opt in for multi-series. Now, it won't be a choice, but if you can raise $500,000 or 1 million in the pre-sale, and then it's maybe easier to wait a bit and use this money to make something of value, and then raise in a half a year, for example, when you can perhaps reach another 3 to 5 million goal, and so forth. So this will, in a way, bring long-term projects probably to raise above the short-term projects. And perhaps a thought on the token as a license model. I think that giving more liability to the token issuer will clean up this market, and I think that's also an important factor. Thank you.